Okay, so the third method is called the evaluate by multiplying conjugate. Okay. So what conjugate means is if you have a plus b times by a minus b. This is a special product, right? So what does it equal, Jeffy?
Was it a squared plus 2ab minus b squared?
No, no. Close, somewhat close.
I forgot. I've got something in
How
there.
about you expand it for me, and then you can tell me what happens. Okay, do the FOIL.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, and let me know when you get it.
Okay. Wait. Was it just a squared minus b squared?
That's correct.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. I was being
this
dumb.
one has a special name. It's called the difference of square. Right, it's subtracting the two squares. Okay, so the two things here, the a plus b and the a minus b, they are conjugates. So a plus b is the conjugate of a minus b, right? A minus b is conjugate of the other one. So conjugate to each other. So when we will need to use this method, it most usually when you see square roots, okay? But of course, you always try substitution first. Because sometimes if you substitute and then it's not 0/0, then you get the answer, right? Then you finish. You don't need to do conjugate right away, okay? So let's see what happens when we substitute here. So we sub x equal to 2. Okay, so everybody try plug it in. 2 squared plus 5 minus 3. 2 squared minus 4. Okay, so Leon, what do you get on the top?
Just give me a second.
Okay.
On top, I got 0.
And the denominator?
Also 0.
What would you call that?
Indeterminate.
Yeah, and what does that mean?
It's 0/0.
Yeah, what does that mean? Indeterminate tells you what do you need to do now? Is that undefined?
No.
So what do you need to do now?
I forgot.
Okay, it means you hit a dead end. And you have to try to find the answer using other ways. Okay, 0/0 doesn't mean it's undefined. It means you have to turn around. Okay, think about method 2. Can we factor, right? Method 2 is simplifying. This is the last time. Simplify, you can factor, right? You can expand, you can try to cancel out, or can we do the multiplying conjugate? Okay, you see the roadmap. I'm trying to tell you what to do when you see a question, right? Always start by substitute. And then if you get 0/0, then you think about simplify or conjugate. And that's it, okay? And because this one has square root, so most likely it will work with conjugate, right? So we will start a new line. And also on the homework, I noticed sometimes you show the work, right? If you check the answer key, they have very detailed work. So that's a good thing for you to learn how to show work. You need to know when to stop writing the limit. Okay, you stop writing limit when after you sub in the value. Otherwise, you keep on writing. Okay. So we are going to multiply conjugate of the top. Right, you have a root minus 3, just like a minus b. So the conjugate that will multiply will be using the plus. Okay, so instead of a minus b, right, this is like a, this is b, we'll multiply with a plus b, right? So the a is the root x squared plus 5, right, plus 3. And then the denominator you multiply by the same, okay? So that's conjugate. You are multiplying top and bottom by the same thing, so that's basically multiplying by 1. So it doesn't change the question. Okay, so we move on to next line. Oops. Okay. So don't forget, you still need to write the limit. Okay. Now for the top, because we have conjugate, right? So we can use the difference of square, okay? So a minus b times a plus b can give you a squared plus b squared. So Carrie, what do you think will happen now on the numerator?
The square root would be gone, so it's left with x squared plus 5.
Very good. And
then it would be minus 9.
yes, okay, so 3 squared. Okay. And then for the denominator, we are not going to expand everything. Okay, we'll just keep it in brackets. Okay. So x squared minus 4, and then square root x squared plus 5. Okay, because if you expand everything, it gets everything tangled up together in the denominator. Okay, we'll see if we can cancel out stuff. Okay, and also the other reason is if you look at indeterminate form. Okay, up here we got 0, 0, right? Oops. Okay, we have 0 over 0, and that 0 came from the x squared minus 4. So possibly we want to cancel that later. Okay, so now we just simplify this. The numerator, right, I can simplify, combine the like terms. So Jeffy, what does it become? Jeffy, are you there?
Oh, sorry. Wait, what was the question?
What does the numerator become now?
Numerator isn't just wait x squared plus 5 minus. Oh wait, no. Give me a second. 9x squared. X squared minus 4.
Yeah. So x squared minus 4, and then the denominator, let's keep it the same, right? Denominator, you notice that I did not expand the bracket. Okay, I'm still keeping everything inside. So what do you think we can do now, Nicole?
You can factor out the x squared minus 4.
What do you mean factor out?
As in like sorry, cross out.
Yes,
like,
cross out. Okay, so the numerator, what would it become?
1.
Yeah, don't forget it's a 1, okay? Do not write 0 on the top. When you cancel out means you divide it, right? The denominator here has a 1. So at the end, you get 1 over root x squared plus 5 plus 3. So you see I'm still writing the limit on the side because I haven't used the x equal to 2 yet, okay? And when you cancel out, the two things that cancels out, that's where the 0 over 0 come from, right? You put 2 into the top, put 2 into the bottom part. Those are the two zeros that happen at the very beginning. So by canceling out, you get rid of the factors that makes it indeterminate. Okay, and now we'll try substitute again, right? So we plug it in. So everybody plug it in. And once you got an answer, please raise your hand. Okay, so I know how many of you got it. Okay, so everyone got it. So Emily, what do you have?
I have 1/6.
1/6. Does anybody object? Okay, very good. Okay, so let me lower your hands. Okay, all right. So the next question will be similar. Okay, so on the test, you will be given a question, right? So don't start with conjugate right away, right? Sometimes they try to trick you, right? Sometimes you just substitute, then it works. Okay, so just go over the substitution, make sure it's indeterminate, and then you start with conjugate, right? So try question B by yourself. If you finish, raise your hand. And if anyone is stuck, right, let me know. Then I can help you go through it. So Jesse, did you learn anything new in calculus?
Nope. She stopped teaching.
Okay.
It's just review now.
Okay, so you stop at chain rule, right?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that's what it's called, chain rule.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Carrie, Leon, are you guys done? Or you have trouble?
I'm
I'm still
done.
doing it.
Okay. Let's get few answers. Okay, Jeffy, what do you have?
Me?
Uh,
Oh,
oh wait.
Jeffy and Jesse. Sure. Both
Okay,
say together.
Jeffy,
One.
you go first.
I go first. I
Yeah.
got undefined, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Undefined. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Jesse?
Oh, I got 1/6 again.
Okay, 1/6 again. Okay.
Yeah.
Lex,
Over 6 again.
1/6 again. How come your voice is muffled again? Okay.
Does this help?
Oh, much better. Yes.
Oh wait, no, Jason, I did something wrong. It's 1/6.
1/6.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else didn't get 1/6? Leon, which step are you on?
Oh, I got 1/6.
Okay, is everybody good? Okay, don't be shy. This is a open class, right? So everybody, I hope to help everyone succeed here, right? So if you don't worry about slowing class down, okay? It's not, right? So we have enough time to make sure everybody gets every question, okay? So don't just copy the notes down and then leave the room, okay? All right, so that's the three method. That's it. Okay, very easy. When you see limits, right, and then you just try substitution. Otherwise, if you hit a dead end 0/0, then you simplify or multiply conjugate. Okay, very straightforward. Okay, now there are a few things we skipped a little bit last week. Okay, the simple stuff. I want to also cover that because sometimes they ask you to do that in school as well. Okay, so which is page 8, okay? I remember we skipped page 8 and 9, right? So this is called the limit law, okay? The reason why I skipped at the beginning is because it's a lot of writing and basically is doesn't like they don't test you on this too much, okay? So mostly the question is on the three methods: substitution, simplify, conjugate, okay? But still, it's in the curriculum. Let's go over it. So limit law, let's go over the law very quickly, okay? So it says if you have a function, right? I'm looking at the left side right now. So limit of f of x as x approaching a, if you get an answer of L, right? And then the second part, the other function, you get an answer of k, okay? So you already know the two answers. If another question asks you to find the limit of adding or subtracting, right? So basically you are using the two functions together. You can just take the answer of each one and add them up or subtract them. So the answer for like first one will be L plus minus K, right? Because the answer for F is L, right? Answer for G is K. So you just add the two answers up, right? So basically it's saying add and subtract, you can just split. Okay, so sort of distributing, right? If you can think of like that. Multiplying, same thing. You can split, right? Split the limit, find the limit of each one if it's multiplying, and then just multiply the answers. And then same with dividing, split the limit of the top, divide by the limit of the denominator. Okay, the only thing you have to be careful is this one. K cannot be 0. K is the answer for the denominator, right? So denominator cannot be 0. Okay, and then number 4, which we'll be using more often, you can put a star there. If there's a constant, you can pull the constant outside of the limit, okay, and then just find the limit of the inside. And then similar, right? Number 5, if there's a root, right? There's a root here. You can calculate not the root, sorry, the exponent. You can do the exponent later. Okay, so this means outside, right? Exponent is on the outside. So this will be the answer for F is L, right? So it will be L to the N. Okay. So like number 4, the fourth rule will be C times L. Am I going too fast? Is anybody lost here? Okay, so the first 3 rule is about sharing, right? You share the limits. Number 4, number 5, number 4 itself is a special one, right? You pull the constant out. Number 5, number 6, number 7, you can think of it as a package as well. It's telling you you can do the limit of the inside first, right? Limit of the F, right? You find that first and then take the exponent. Same with number 6. You take the limit of the inside and then do the root, right? Nth root later. And then number 7 is more in general, right? You can write that down in general. If there's a function inside a function, right? You have an inside function g of x. This is the inside function. You can find the limit of the inside, and whatever answer that you get, you can sub it into the f. So this will be f of, what's the answer for g of x? Nicole? The answer for the limit for g of x.
I don't know.
Look at here, look at the left side. What's the answer for g of x?
Okay.
Yeah, so you're just subbing k into the f. Okay, so that's what it means. You find the limit of the inside function. Okay, later we will have example at the bottom. Okay, and then number 8 is saying that if you take the limit of a single x, you just put the a in, right? Like substitution, right? And if it's a constant, it won't change, right? Because there's no place to sub in x, right? So if it's 7, it will just equal to 7. So those two are, I put it together, okay? Are easy one. So the proving, okay, the proving for number 8 and 9, okay, this is question A here is for the proof for 9, okay? So here we can use an example. For example, I want to find the limit x approaching 1 of our function is a constant. Okay, so we'll look at the graph, right? This is our function, f of x equals 7. What's this graph look like? Emily?
Is it just a dot at 7?
Only a dot?
Or is it like a continuous line at 7?
And going which way? Vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal.
Yes, you are correct. Okay, the 7 means it's y equal to 7. So y is 7 along this straight line, right? So you just draw a straight line there, right? And then the example I chose is approaching 1, right? So this is at 7, approaching 1. So that means the arrow will be going towards here, right? From both ends. Okay, so no matter how close you get to 1, the y will stays at 7. So that's why the answer is 7. Okay, so that's why if it's constant, it won't change, right? The y value doesn't change. Now for the next question, let's say we find the limit. This time, let's also do x approaching 1, okay, of x equal to something. Okay, so our function this time is x. How do we draw this graph? Leon, what's this graph look like?
No idea.
Impossible. I know you know. Okay. Y equal x. I'm talking about this graph.
Oh, so it's just a diagonal line.
Yes. Okay. So don't give up too early, right? When I ask, usually like 80% you should know. Okay. So it will be diagonal line with a slope of 1, right? Going this way. So it will be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, right? And then I will have 1, 1, right? We want the x to approach 1. So the arrow will be going this way, right? X is approaching 1 from the right side, and then from the left side, it will look like that. So what do you think the limit equals? Carrie?
1.
Yeah, it will approaching 1, okay? And this 1 is talking about the y value, okay? The x approaches 1, the y also approaches 1, which shows that the rule works, right? If if the a value here is 1, right? Then the answer will be the same, okay? So that's why it's saying. Okay, so that's a simple proof, right? Or demonstration, right? To show you that it works. Now let's look at how they will ask you in question, right? In the homework. So remember at the beginning on the law, right? They will give you the limits of couple functions and ask you to apply it. So for example, let's look at the first one, 7a. So they give you this function, right? F, the limit for f is 8. And then limit for the g is 3. And then we have limit for the h is 2, right? They give you the L, the K, right? The 3 numbers. And then ask you to find the limit of the following. So, okay. All right, so we had to think about which law to use. So the first one, right, because the first thing that comes to your mind, right, you see this dividing, then you think about the laws up here. Which law, which number has dividing inside? Jeffy?
Law number 3.
Yeah, okay, so law number 3 tells us we can share the limit, right, to the top and bottom. So to show that you are using law number 3, you write a little 3 on top of the equal. And then you just write limit, right, f, limit, x approaching 1, g of x minus h of x. Right, so that's using law number 3 to split the limit. So you see, it's a lot of writing, right? And then the next part, which law do you think we can apply next, Emily?
Sorry?
Which law do you think we can apply now?
I guess you could apply the first one to the denominator.
Yeah, very good. Okay, the denominator has a subtraction, right? So add and subtract, I can also split. So that's law number 1. So I'll write 1 above the equal sign. It'll be limit. The top, I'll just keep it. G of x, right? You split, you share the limit to each one. So once you do the sharing, right, then it has 3 limits. And then you look at the 3 color that I circled, right? Limit of f, it will be 8. So I put 8. Limit of g is 3 minus limits of h is 2, right? You just calculate that. And what would that equal at the end, Nicole?
You get 8.
Yeah, you will get 8, right? So of course, if you look back, right, can we get 8 without doing all that? Jesse? Can we get the answer of 8 without doing all this?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Jesse, you're Jesse.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I keep not being able to tell Jeffy or Jesse because like it's muffled. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. She taught us this thing, like weird thing called like power rule. Except like you kind of have to use like the different laws in between too. So I guess you kind of have to do all of it anyways.
Okay. Are we? My question is: are we able to get to here without writing it all out? Right? Can we do it in the head?
Oh yeah.
Possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this part, right? Because you can just look at f is on top, right? And you write 8, right? And then g is at the bottom, you write 3, and then h 3 minus 2. So what this is doing here is not really testing you know how to calculate or not, right? It's just testing if you know how to choose the law, right? Choose the right law. So the calculation itself is not difficult. It's just testing whether you know how to apply, okay, the proper one. So let's look at B, okay? And I'll let you try, okay? You guys think about which law to apply. Each time you can use maybe 1 or 2 laws at the same time, but don't use too many, okay? And then once you finish the steps, I'll ask you, okay? Raise your hand when you're done. And during each step, please write down the law that you apply, okay? Okay, Jesse, how about you tell us your first law that you used? Which number?
The first one that I used was law 6.
Yeah. Okay, and how do I write it then?
So then it would be cube root of limit x approaching to 1 f of x times g of x plus 3.
Okay, thank you. And Jeffy, what's your second law that you used?
I used the second law,
The
and
second.
then yes. Sorry.
Hmm?
Do you want me to expand it?
Yeah. So which law do you use? Number 2 or?
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. So
And
what?
then that got me cube root,
Mm-hmm.
and then limit x approaching 1 f of x,
Mm-hmm.
and then limit g of x, and then limit 3.
They are all multiplying,
Yes, all multiplying.
but there's a adding 3 though.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
then I think. Shoot. I think you can still put adding limit and the x approaching to 1 and 3.
Okay. And what law would you be using then?
That would be the first law.
Yeah. Okay. So here we are applying law number 1 and 2 at the same time. Okay. And then, Nicole, what happens now?
Now you put in the numbers.
Okay, but there's another one here. Which law would that be?
Uh,
Limit of 3.
that would be law 8.
Law 8. Law 8 has a variable though.
Oh, law 9.
Yeah, 9 is the one that has a constant, right? So here I can use 9, and then at the same time I can plug in the numbers, right? So it will be cube root of, what do we do, Emily?
Sorry. It'd just be cube root of 8 times 3 plus 3.
Yeah. Okay, and Leon, do you have the final answer?
Cube root of 14.
Cube root of,
Sorry. 27, which is 3.
yes, okay, so finally it's 3. So of course, the answer, we can also get 3 very quickly, right? You see F is 8, G is 3, so 8 times 3 plus 3, right? The step is applying, the part I'm marking will be looking for using the right law or not, okay? And whether if you know how to write it out using limits. Okay, let's look at another one. So right now, you don't know what the f of x or g of x is, right? In the next example, they will tell you what the functions are. And then you're actually using the functions to get the answer. Okay, so we'll go over one as well together and let you try the other one. So same thing, we need to write down the law, right? Which law we apply. So this one, Jesse, which law do we use to start?
Law, which one is it? Number one.
Number 1? Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet.
Oh, then 3. I guess we could start with 3.
Yeah, okay. So if we're using number 3 to split the limit, it will be x squared plus 2x minus 3. So that's the f of x on the top, right? Divided by limit x approaching 1, 6 plus 3x. Okay, and then Lex, which law do we need to use now?
Law 1.
Law 1, okay. So law 1, what will the top become? Lex?
It will be lim
Mm-hmm.
x to 1
Mm-hmm.
x squared
Mm-hmm.
plus lim
Mm-hmm.
2x minus lim 3.
Okay,
on the
here we
bottom.
have a 2x, right? Can we apply any rule to help us take the 2 to the front?
We can use n- rule number 4
Rule number 4.
with
Yeah.
the constant, right?
Very good. Okay, so rule number 4, the constant at the front, we can pull it to the front. So we will do that at the same time. That's gonna save us a couple steps. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Okay. So we'll have a 2 at the front and x. Finally, we have limit x approaching 1 of a constant. And then the last part, the denominator, we'll do the same thing, right? We split the limits, limit of 6, and then we also using law number 4 to bring the 3 to the front of x. Okay. And okay, actually I want to apply another law here for the exponent one. Okay, if you look at the last page, the exponent, right? If there's an exponent, law number 5. Okay, take a look at law number 5. If there is an exponent, we can bring it, like leave it at the outside, right? So we can also do that here. So all I need to do is just add a little bracket, keep the square outside. So this is law number 5. So I'm using 3 laws here, right, to help us save some time. All right, so now what do we do next? Emily?
I guess do it.
Which law do we use now?
You can use 9 or 8, I think.
8. Okay, number 9 is with a constant, right? Number 8 is you have an x. Okay, so here we have an x. Let's write down 9 and 8. So if you have an x for the red bracket, what does it become, Carrie?
It becomes 1.
Yeah, so it'll be 1 squared plus 2 times, that's also 1 again, minus limit of a constant, Leon, what does it become?
3.
Yeah, keep going, denominator, Leon.
6 plus x.
Plus 3 times,
Oh, 3 times x, is it? Or
this
1?
is
Oh,
you
1, sorry.
number 8, right? Yeah, it'll be 1, okay? If it's only x, the answer will just equal to the whatever number you're approaching, okay? So final answer, calculate the result. Jeffy, you can do this one.
I got 0/9.
0/9, so 0,
Yes, so just
okay?
0.
So answer is 0. So are we able to stray to here? Can we do that? Is there a way to get there? Lex? Can we do that, Lex? Is there a way?
I
In one step. How do
guess if you would just maybe if you like try to simplify
can hear you?
I'm not sure, but I guess we could try just simplifying everything first.
Okay, what do you mean by simplifying?
Like if you could just
Can
like
Yep.
take out the GPS of like
Take out the what? Yep. Your voice is getting lower and lower. Are you walking away?
No, I think there might be something wrong with my mic.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes it's very clear. How about you, Carrie? What do you think? Can we get to the second last?
Yeah,
Oh,
subbing one.
yes, one. That's it. Sub n x equal to 1, right? Because we want x approaching 1, right? So the point here is not get the answer, right? The point is to apply the law, right? So you're showing the steps. Steps is more important than the final answer of 0, okay? Because you can get 0 just by subbing in. That's why on the next section, we said the first method is substitution, right? Remember this one? Substitution. Because last week I just tell you to substitute, right? Because we didn't have time to go through these ones. Otherwise, you cannot do the homework. Okay, so this part is showing you that because of the law, we can do substitution. Okay, you see how everything's connect together now. Okay, all right. So now it's your turn. Please do question B. And if you finish question B, raise your hand. Don't forget to raise your hand. Anyone here has no idea which law to start? You can let me know. Okay. Okay, let's get the first law first. Okay, first step. Lex, which law do you use first?
I just subbed it in.
Then you are not going to get any mark though. Huh?
If you wanted to use the lab, you could do
Yeah.
number 2 first.
Okay, number
Because
2.
it's multiplying.
Okay, so can you tell me what to write after you apply number 2?
Lim
Mm-hmm.
cube root of x squared plus 7
Mm-hmm.
multiplied by lim
Mm-hmm.
bracket x plus 2 squared.
Yes, very good. Okay. Yeah, I know you probably think, so many limbs to write, right? And then you don't want to write it. So that's why last week I didn't want to go into this yet, okay? All right, Jeffy, what's the next law that you use after the multiplying?
I used 4 laws at once.
Okay, which
I used
This guy gets it. This
law
guy
number
gets it.
1, law 4, law 5, and law 6.
Oh, okay.
So I
Holy.
used law 1 because it has the plus minus inside. Oh, also I expanded x plus 2 squared. I don't know if that's important, but
No, you don't need to.
okay, I did it anyway. I think it's the same answer, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And then
So
I
what?
did law number 4.
Hmm.
Oh, I did law number 4 because I expanded it. So if you don't, I don't think you need it.
Okay. Okay.
And then law number 5 I used because
Number 5.
where is it? Oh, because of the x squared.
Exponent, yeah.
Yeah, and then law number 6 I use because of the square, no, the cube root.
The root. Okay, so can you tell me what it looks like after you apply the laws?
Oh god, okay. So I expanded it, so it's probably longer, but it's cube root, and then it's limit x, and then bracket that, and then square on the outside.
Yeah.
And then plus limit 7.
Okay.
And then outside I have, outside the root I have times limit x, and then bracket, and then square on the outside. And then plus 4 limit x, so 4 is the constant. And then plus limit 4.
Okay, so you expanded the second term, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that works. I'm just gonna show if there's no expansion, okay, what it looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this part. So you don't need to do the expansion. So if you don't use the expansion, you can just apply the exponent. So that's the number 5 exponent, and then also apply number 1 on the inside. So it will be whole thing square, and then lim x plus lim 2, right? You see much shorter, okay?
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if it could do that, so I just
So
expanded.
as long as you have the law to back you up, right? You have law number 5 to do exponent to bring it in, and then you have law number 1 to do add and subtract, then you can do it, right?
Okay.
If you're able to explain, then you are safe.
Okay.
Right? And then next part, Emily, what do we do now? Which law?
Sorry. After that, I just use 8 and 9.
8 and 9, yeah. Okay, that's what I would choose as well. So what would it become?
Become cube root of 1 squared plus 7 times the square root of, no, not the square root, the 1 plus 2 to the power of 2.
Yep, okay. And then you just calculate the rest. Okay, so Leon, what do you have?
$64. Oh wait.
Is it
4?
64?
Just 4.
4, only 4. Anyone got different? Yeah? Everyone the same? Jesse, what do you have?
Oh wait, never mind, I messed up.
Wait, I don't know
I
how,
have-
but I got 18.
Yeah, I have 18 too.
What do you think, Leon?
Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot that this part was also, it's not supposed to be cube root.
Okay. So cube root of 8 is 2, right? So 2 times 9, so 18. Okay. So calculation-wise, it's not difficult. It's just a lot of writing and how to choose, right? How to show your work. That's more important here, okay? We'll have 15 minutes break, and then when you come back, we'll be moving on to a new things called the sandwich theorem, okay? Jesse, did you cover sandwich squeeze theorem at school?
Yeah, very briefly.
Okay, yeah, so we'll do that after the break, okay? See you in 15
Oh, wait, how? Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.